Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second Greyshot Productions podcast featuring myself, Greyshot151.
Oh, this is where I talk now? It's 117. Hello, everyone.
We also have
Oh.
guests. You're alive, right?
Hi, yeah, my name's Javert, the Jontron loving Javert. You can just call me Jav if you want. I've been in a few videos, so some people might know me, some people might not.
And then we also have the other guy.
Yeah, they kind of wrapped me up in a bandage, but my name's TK. But yeah,
also,
I'm here.
also known as Tank Killer to those who don't know him as TK. And yeah, both these guys are essentially
They know me as TK.
yeah, basically they're big CH2 guys. If you ever watch any of our CH2 replays, which since it is a minor part of our channel, you may or may not have, but usually you'll see these two either submitting replays or part of said replays, thanks to 117 over here. But for today's
Yes,
lineup,
also, just putting it out there, I'm just saying a minor part. Technically, in also our channel, I hate to break it to you, but, just saying, what have you released recently? Huh?
I believe when you were taking your exams, I was doing the CH2 replays, and I've done done a few of the little files and shorts and such. But in any case, and I've done the Greyshot Productions
Hello?
podcast. So, yeah. So,
That was like a month ago.
you know, it still counts. Any case, in today's podcast, we're going over what we are excited for, news about CH2, what we are hoping for the game, not to mention the little game that we're excited for called XCOM 2. So, first off, Tank Killer, you had a little note before we started?
I like turtles.
Oh, okay,
I don't remember.
Actually, I think Yavert would like to argue with you on that one. I think Yavert would
You
like
know
to
what?
argue with...
He probably-
Turtles are my domain, man. I am the Magenta Man, and I am leaders of the Turtles. Or leader of the Turtles, that is. I have the fastest turtle in all the land in Ark Survival Evolved, and it's pretty chill. It's pretty chill. Though it's my turtle, and I'll have you know that I like turtles.
And what is the name of this fast turtle?
Steve the turtle.
Of course.
Steve
Of
the
course. Yes, Steve the Turtle. But in any case, guys, let's get off to our first major topic, which is games that we are anticipating for 2016. Obviously, we have quite a few games that are going to be popping up on the list very, very soon. But for games that we are anticipating, again, we are going to be expanding the entirety of the year. So this could be XCOM 2, or this could be at the very tail end of next year for next year's Call of Duty. Of course, I doubt anyone is going to be saying that. So I guess we'll start from Tank Killer. Obviously, we'll go with our guest first. So Tank Killer, what games are you excited for 2016?
Not really excited for any specific game, but I'm really hoping some good Fallout 4 DLC comes out.
An excellent point. Apparently, it's supposed to be in the name of Skyrim, so with the larger new areas and expansions. I am excited to see what happens, though. I'm hoping it hits the same qualities like Broken Steel, Lookout Point, or The Point. Mothership Zeta was good, not maybe great. Dawn Guard, things like that. I'm very excited to see. Okay, or it sucked, but I am very excited to see those games. So, Yavert, what is your top game for, or what are you
I'm
excited
surprised you
most?
did not mention the pit.
Oh, shush. We don't
How
talk
did you
about
miss the pit?
I don't know. Listen, look. It's just because it's set in Pittsburgh and I live in Pittsburgh. It was very forgettable.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's the reason why you forget it. Uh-huh.
Let's be
But,
honest. What is really memorable about Pittsburgh?
Honestly,
well,
That you live there?
Okay then.
are we talking about after nuclear apocalypse or before nuclear apocalypse?
Both.
There's a big difference here.
Both.
After, slaves. Apparently, that's what it was known for. But before nuclear apocalypse, you have the awesome healthcare system, the Steelers, which are now not in the playoffs, and the history of pretty much filth and waste.
Woohoo! Yeah. Well, here, Yavert. What is your game that you are anticipating?
Well, personally, I can't wait for Dishonored 2. I don't think they have like an official release date for it yet, but like I played the first Dishonored game along with like all my friends. We played all the DLC and everything like that, and I just am so ecstatic for Dishonored 2. That's just the one game I cannot wait for, because you can play as like Emily, the girl that you raised up in Dishonored, and I think you can play as Emily and or Corvo, and Corvo's the main character of the first Dishonored. So it's kind of like a new take there. So it's just I'm really ecstatic for it.
Question:
There.
Did they ever say Cuervo's age?
I think he was somewhere around his 30s. I can look it up for you if you want. Give me.
I was gonna say that would put him pretty old if she is the new assassin with him. I do like Dishonored 2, and I'm also excited for that. But that was always a curious question when I saw him. Like, so you're either gonna play a very young assassin or a very old assassin.
So yeah, his age in the Dishonored, the first one is 39, and the age for the new game is going to be 54.
Oh my God, he's Fisher from Tom Clancy, which every
Yeah,
game he gets 5 years younger.
really. Yeah, really.
Hey, let me
People
just.
forget.
Well,
He in the original film, the original game, he was retired, meaning he was in his 50s, and then it's been like years since, and now he's like doing moves and stuff where it's like younger agents should be doing it. It's like what?
yeah, I never could understand that series. Of course, there's always like the same thing could be said though. I mean, it's like he has superpowers, so 54. 54 in with superpowers could be like 29 without superpowers. So you have to keep that in. So technically, if you're like Emily, I guess you'd be like 5. You'd be as like be able to move and what like a 5-year-old. So maybe that isn't the best thing. Who knows?
Move like a 5-year-old. Yes, I would love to move like a 5-year-old. I could get away with murder.
Oh,
Quite literally in that game.
yeah, no, definitely. But TK, do you have any thoughts on Dishonored 2? Are
I've
you
never
excited
played that
for it?
game. I've never played any of the Dishonoreds. I wanted to.
Then the game stopped you, I take it?
I just
But-
never caught funds, and I don't have them. And
Oh, yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
I was gonna say you can get
Wah, wah,
Dishonored
wah.
for like, I think for a Steam sale you can get like the DLC and everything for like $10, and that's easy, a 30-hour game. If you do everything, and also you can go through that
Oh.
game, and the same thing with the new one where you don't kill anybody. You cannot really kill anyone, including the main, the villains and everything. So it's really cool. Like this is like you can like again straight up murder somebody, or you can be like I'm gonna sell them off to like their deepest, darkest antagonist that I have no issue with, and it's like this is awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely. I was kind of shocked at some of the strange things you could do to people. Like I think there was like one guy you literally tortured like a brothel, which I was just like, okay, I guess this is happening. But at the same time, though, that game was kind of glitchy. Like people were bouncing off the walls. There was the one fails of the week video where the guy accidentally sent the woman out the freaking window. So it definitely has its highlights for me, and again with story, but also the strange things that happened. But yeah, Yavard, I mean, other than Corvo and Emily, is there anything like new? I'm pretty sure it's like a new place, right?
Yeah, I think I don't remember. I'd have to look it up what happened afterwards, but I think afterwards, depending on which ending you got, it's gonna follow that ending. So I think it's gonna follow the good ending. I believe. Where Dunwall is like cured and everything like that, and it's something's gonna happen with like a new assassin or some type of evil corporation. So it's gonna be even more futuristic than it was. then, well, not really futuristic, but like more future era tech, and still have like the Outsider connected to it and stuff like that. So I mean, just like, I can't wait to see how they like implement combat and stuff like that into that, where you're gonna be fighting like androids and stuff like that. I really am just so excited. Like maybe you can use your Outsider powers to manipulate the robots and stuff like that to fight for you, kind of like you were able to do in the first Dishonored with guards. So it's just I'm just so pumped for the game. I really am.
Eerie
Actually,
silence.
Does anyone know where the bathroom
Eerie
is?
silence.
Listen. We have a system in place, and listen, bro, you picked the number after him, and you were supposed to follow. It's a simple rule.
TK was
It's
number
a
2. I was gonna
simple
wait for
rule.
him.
I
TK,
was
you're next.
not clicking the alt button.
Just speak what you have to say,
on
TK.
accident.
Oh,
So,
I
are
actually
any
have
of you
the.
a fan of
Go
first-person
ahead.
shooters?
Oh dear God, I don't know. I mean, bro,
Are any of you
we're not like
fans of
fans of
first-person
Halo
shooters?
or Siege, or
That's
any
not a
other
first-person
shooter.
shooter. God.
Yeah, it is.
They're both first-person shooters.
They need to make a new World War II first-person shooter. Like Rising Storm Red Orchestra
When-
2.
Because
As I
enemy
read the
front
title
was
on
a
my screen.
rousing success.
Hold on.
It was terrible.
I would just like to make a note here that he went from who's a fan of first-person shooters to why isn't there World War II shooters? He made no connection to why anyone was asking about first-person shooters. He just went straight to World War II.
Do you want a World War II shooter?
Maybe I
You want a
should-
big budget World War II shooter? Play Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. That's
Yeah.
the closest you're gonna get.
Wolfenstein's
Well,
pretty
we need
amazing.
like a Red Orchestra one.
It's
Yes.
really good.
Whoever knows. Yeah.
It is good. It's sci-fi World War II, but yeah, it's World War II.
Well, here, bro.
I
Since we haven't heard anything from you, why don't you mention your game for that year?
Yeah,
For
I will
2016?
concur with TK. Like an open world, like occupied, like World War II landscape would be interesting. Although I'd rather have it under the Oh God, what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what it would be. The maybe Soviet or something. But anyway, there are quite a few games, so I'm very interested in XCOM 2, which we'll get to. I'm very excited for the Quantum Break with the time mechanics, because that's something that I've like. First, I like Remedy. One of my favorite games of all time is Alan Wake because of the story, like the sense of mystery and awe with the game. Combat was okay, but this one looks to be upping the ante, and I like all the different actors that they hired for it, which makes it really, really unique. Again, you have a major Game of Thrones actor, a major X-Men actor. I mean, you have a lot of great talent being poured into this, so I'm very, very excited for it. I really hope it does well for them, because Remedy's a great studio, but their games never sell amazing, so I really hope this does well. So Quantum Break comes out in April, I believe. I can't wait. And then the game I thought died and came back to life, which is a first-person shooter, Homefront: The Revolution.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's back to life, and I swear I thought that game was canceled, or at least under like heavy delays. But no, it's coming out this May. I'm very cautiously optimistic about it. I think the development problems it's had, like, do you guys know the history of Homefront? I guess is a good thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I do. I
All right.
actually played the original game.
Well, here, pass
Yeah,
along for
so
any watchers
I
that
did
may not
too.
know.
So, okay, so the original Homefront was made by ex-Battlefield devs who worked on like a bunch of awesome stuff, and they made Frontlines Fuel War, one of my favorite games on 360 at the time, because it had 25 on 25 multiplayer and had some of the best vehicle combat. There's a city map that literally had like this long, I guess this long checkpoint system where you'd capture the front line points and it would move on, where there would be drones. It was some of the most frantic and fun multiplayer I had at the time, and I was so happy to play that. A single player was okay. Then they made Homefront under THQ, and while the multiplayer was again fun, the single player was worse. It was more, I think it was a little bit better, but it was still worse in some regards. Like, they tried to do a Half-Life 2, but it just fell flat. Like, you got no story beats. It was 3 hours long, maybe four if you died, and
If you
yeah,
died once.
like it jumped between like the weird like you like there were moments where it's like there are enemies in the Hooters and it's like wait what's going on, and then it's like you fire white phosphorus on Koreans and there's a guy, it's like this is a horrific moment and it's one of your teammates like smell that, it's Korean barbecue, by the way North Koreans invaded, but it's just like what is this thing trying to do, and then 5 minutes later you hide in a baseball field of dead bodies. It's like really, like really, this is what we're doing right now. It's incredibly stupid. It ended at the worst moment because it's like, okay, finally things are getting like happening, and then it just ends. And it's like, really, we're ending now? You could have not gone on a little longer because literally the final fight's on the San Francisco Bridge with the U.S. military fighting, and apparently. I have no idea. Like, I have no idea if they're throwing all that lore out. I have, like, because apparently at that time, the U.S. military was still fighting an even fight with the Koreans. I have no idea what they were doing. That whole like oh god, there were like for the and also those who don't know, there was a time where people thought Homefront was coming true with the death of was it Jim Yong Un? No, it wasn't Un. It was
Kim
Kim
Jong
Jong
the
Un.
Kim Jong Il.
no, his
No,
father.
no.
Ill.
When
Thank
Il
you. It
fell
was
ill.
ill. When he died, it was and a few other things happened. It was following the trajectory of Homefront, and people were freaking out. But yeah, and then it sold well, but they closed down the studio and they partnered, I think, with Crytek, which is funny because I got rid of Homefront a week after it came out because it was terrible, and I bought Crysis 2. So when this announcement came out that Homefront sequel is being developed by Crytek, I was like, yes, because it's like you get the multiplayer, just copy the multiplayer, improve the single player. Because at this time I'm playing Crysis 2, and by the way, Crysis 2 is one of my favorite games on the 360 because it looked beautiful. Single player was great. One of the best single player campaigns. Sounds and it's like Crytek knows how to make a great shooter until Crysis 3. So it's like okay, this will be great. And then of course, Crytek goes under financial issues. They get the studio that and the license for Homefront gets sold to I think it was Deep Silver, which they own was it the Dead Island franchise and about like I think the Saints Row. So they now own Homefront along with a lot of the original staff who worked on the game, and then they've been secretly working on it. But I didn't think it would ever come out because again, there hasn't been any news for like a year, maybe a year and a half, and then finally they released the trailer. I'm like, oh yeah, this is out. But if you look at that trailer, it looks good, but some of the animation's a little off. So that's why I'm a little bit cautiously optimistic. But if it's an open world first person shooter where you liberate Philadelphia, I am excited because it's again set in Pennsylvania. So cannot wait. Again, optimistic, but out of the three, I'm probably most excited for XCOM just because it's an RTS. I love the original Enemy Unknown, and yeah, it's just oh my god, I've seen all the previews for it so far, and it just looks so good. It's more story. Although to be fair, my guys survived, so this is like an alternate universe for me. I was not part of the majority in which, lost the game. I've only lost the game once. I think beaten XCOM. I want to say 3 to 4 times, and all the times I have succeeded. So take that.
Way to go, way to go. I just want to hop back to the Homefront thing real quick. About the original game. As much as like I didn't understand the story at the beginning, I kind of I was the really small minority that kind of thought it was cool, cause like it kind of gave me the Red Dawn vibe, the old Red Dawn movie where Koreans and Russians invaded America and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, I'm living the movie, but in a video game. Haha. So like at the same time, I didn't really care for the story as much. I just went on a Korean killing spree, and I'm like, that's just really cool. But it, it, the more that I went on in the campaign, the more I was like, what, what, what the fuck? Because I really was getting confused, kind of like with you, Greyshot. I really didn't like the campaign as much, and then I hopped over on the multiplayer, and some people like really like the multiplayer, but I really couldn't like it. I tried to like it, and I just I really couldn't. I didn't understand it. It really kind of it made sense eventually the more that I played it, but like I still ended up hating it for some unknown reason. It's just I didn't like how it went out. I like the 64 um team dealio. I love the large online games, but I just in the end I didn't really like it as much as well, not should have, but as much as other people had. So that's just my take on the whole home front thing.
You know it was written by the guy who wrote Red Dawn, right? You know that,
Yeah,
right?
I know
Oh,
that.
okay.
That's why I was saying like, oh wow, I'm living the movie, but in a video game. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed it in the beginning, but I didn't enjoy riding on the bus and then seeing families get shot. I'm like, oh, I feel like I should be feeling remorse for these people, but uh, okay. Because I didn't have any affiliation with that whatsoever. I'm like, I don't even know who these people are. Oh, that's a kid. Oh, his parents were shot. Oh, okay. I didn't really feel too much remorse over but yeah, take that with a grain of salt.
Very nice. Very
Speaking of
nice.
modern games,
No, continue.
what
TK.
about a modern style RTS like Company Heroes?
Do we want to go down this rabbit hole?
Yeah, yep. No, this is actually where my game of 2016 is. Thank you, TK, for the switch, or I guess the tangent. But basically, my 2016 game is Halo Wars 2. That's coming out for Xbox One and PC in fall 2016. And dear God, if there was ever a
What?
franchise I was excited.
Are you lying to me?
No, I'm not. Wait, you didn't know?
No.
Yeah, Halo Wars
I'm
2 coming to
heated.
PC and Xbox One.
You did not know.
You know how many times we blow TK's mind? Like how many? Like this is just getting insane. At this rate, he's not gonna have a mind left by the end of this podcast. But yeah, Halo Wars
I'm
2.
not.
It's coming.
Not
It's
gonna
coming out.
happen.
It's going to be being made by. Was it Ready at Dawn? I know it's being made by the people behind the Total War franchise.
I need to
Here,
look.
let me Google
Yeah,
it.
it's Total Assembly.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I am. I am confident they'll be able to pull it off. I'm just hoping it's akin to the original style, because the original style I wish they would have just flushed out with like you could like. I like how CH2 does like the you can choose either like the armored car or the Beaufort. Like you could like if you or like the commanders, you choose a commander and that's it. I'm hoping in Halo Wars 2 you can specialize like, okay, do I want the machine gun Spartan or do I want the Spartan laser Spartan? Do I want the machine gun for anti-infantry or do I want the air or do I want the rockets for like ground? Like choosing like the types of infantry you want to make to combat the enemy. Because I would love something like that where you could, create your custom units. Or like, again, like the leaders, like commanders, you have like the Spartan commander and you can deploy this and that and that. Or you had this commander and or like the Covenant commander and he can do, X, Y, and Z. So I am super excited for that. I'm hoping they expand it. I hope it's not just like Total War with a Halo skin. If they do that, I think
Are y'all
I'll
getting-
cry a little.
Are you getting it for PC or for the Xbox?
PC. Because PC
Yeah,
will be
me
able to
too.
run it better. And let's be honest now, it's a lot easier to record, and we'll be able to play with a lot more people. But yeah, TK, in the link which I have brought up, you can actually see the Halo Wars 2 trailer.
You have brought up
Yeah,
BS.
You're welcome.
Nah, I brought it up. You both are lying. How dare ye?
Any case, that's got to be mine because when my brother and I both had shared the Greyshot 117 username, that was the thing I fought for. That we the 100% Halo Wars, and I did it after I think it was 2 months of playing that game for like 2 hours a day. I got the general achievement, which is to get the max rank in Halo Wars Online.
Good lord, that must have been
And
an
I thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
experience. So, like, how does Halo Wars play out? Because I've never actually, like, played Halo Wars
It's
before.
okay, so it's very similar to think of Company of Heroes 2 in the essence of base building with the British or like the Americans, where you accept okay, so you have a centralized base, and then around your base you have multiple I guess slots, and in those slots you can put down a reactor, supply depots. Reactors for power, and supply depots are for income, and then different buildings. So there was an air, ground, and infantry base, and then
Mhm.
there's also special operations, which will get you upgrades for better equipment, and also special powers. Um, the problem with Halo Wars is the fact that it was like think of it as 25% base building, 75% combat because your buildings relied on your combat abilities, such as if you didn't have 4 generators, you couldn't produce the best equipment. But sometimes the best equipment was not always the best thing. For example, you could make a scarab as the Covenant, and you had the Covenant faction and then the human faction. Only those two with 3 like heroes per side. The thing about
Mhm.
the I guess the Scarab was, even though it's an all-powerful death machine, if you
Oh, small.
swarmed it with enough smaller units, you could easily kill it. So it's a risk-reward type thing, and there was a pop cap that would typically make sure that when an army couldn't be like you, there would be a way to counter. It's not like you can just build these awesome units and just win the game. There was always a counter that you could do.
So one thing that
Gotcha.
I wish
Okay.
like the pop cap was higher on Halo Wars, and there was different resources, not the same exact, just
I
wherever it
think it
was. I
was
can't
just
remember.
engine. I think it was just the engine of 360 because if those who recall, if you played on 3v3s, it lagged or it lagged bad.
Yep. But it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. What weren't there 4v4s? Or was it just 3v3?
It was just 3v3.
Ah, okay. 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 But no, I
4v4 was End War, and that's another game I miss.
but bro, they brought it back as an exciting MOBA.
That can go jump into a ditch. I'll shoot it. I will personally do it. Hey guys, remember that awesome RTS that you guys enjoyed because it had persistent units that if they got killed, you had to restart, and that made you care about battles and actually risk reward? Yeah, we're gonna throw it out the drain for a free to play MMO or free to play, like not even RTS. It's literally send your units down the like down the chain. You can't even control them with kind of base building mechanics similar to the Dawn of War. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. Everyone will love it. Everyone like gives the middle finger to it and says like you're. Oh my god,
Yeah,
I
I
was
see what you
so
mean.
excited. I was so excited when I heard that they were making a new one. Then I watched a trailer for it and I realized they're using the same cutscenes that they did in the original game. The same cinematic cutscene that they had in 2007 to announce this game. They used it for to announce this trailer, to announce this like new game. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, really? You don't have the budget to make new cutscenes? You're that, like, desperate? You're that cash strapped, Ubisoft? Really?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean, if you think about it, the Tom Clancy franchise used to be one of the biggest sellers. I mean, they went with like End War, Hawks, Rainbow Six.
Hawks was terrible. Hawks was another brand they tried, and it's terrible. Don't. Just no.
No. Yeah, I'm not saying they were good. I'm just saying they all were coming out, and then as of recently, they all stopped. Like they all stopped selling. I think Hawks 2. I
It's
think was the
amazing if you
a lot
make
of bad
bad
games.
games, no one buys them. Hawks 2 was a piece of trash that they announced and released within 2 months. Here's a tip: if a game gets announced and it's within 2 months of releasing, it's a low budget game that they just want to push out. I'm not saying indie games, because again, usually they announce them or in development for a while. I'm saying that if suddenly this random thing from a big budget studio off a giant franchise, and it's like, yeah, Halo 6 comes out in 3 months. Something's up. There's something up.
What you mean, like not Tom Clancy? Tony Hawk. Pro Skater 5. That announcement release.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're like, unless you're Call of Duty, that it's like we're announcing in May, or Assassin's Creed. If it's something where it's like this big marquee franchise, and it gets it's like, this looks bad, and it's like, there is no, it's like there's no time for this to get released, and it's like very different from the last time. I'm not saying like every game's like this. For example, like PT was suddenly released, and that's a great game. What I'm saying is like a huge franchise where, like, let's say Watch Dogs, they revealed it like a year and a half in advance. If they revealed it a month before the game came out, you know there's something up. You know there's something up.
Yeah, really.
It basically tells you they have no money for the marketing, so it's like, well, we have to do everything right now in like a month because that's the only time we can afford it.
Yep.
Especially for a big
Exactly.
studio, a publisher, it's like you know they have the money, they just don't want to use it. Why? Because the game's terrible.
No, very true, very true. Though, speaking of things we're hoping is not terrible, just shifting, since we talked about our most exciting games, well, I would like to transition over to essentially the franchise we all play. And there's been speculation and things that were going on that, and the reason I thought I'd bring it now is since it's most likely going to be being released in the probably next few months, or so very soon, which is Company of Heroes 2 and what is the faction? The Africa Corps?
Yeah, the
What?
Africa Corpse.
Yeah, Africa Corps. Which I'm kind of disappointed by that. I was kind of hoping like maybe the Italians or something new. I mean, doesn't that mean it's just gonna be a whole bunch of light armor? I mean,
They better have Panzer threes.
well, they do. They do. It's called the Lukes. Except it kind
It's
of
No, that's a
basically gonna
Panzer
be not, I don't want to say rundown infantry, but like more specialized infantry and light ass tank. You're pretty much gonna have like emplacements like the British for anti-tank, and you might be
then
seeing
I'm
like a
perfectly
lot
fine
of
with that.
armored cars and stuff like that. You might have a lot of like armored car usage.
the
I'm fine with that.
the main note I have about the Africa Corps is like it ended in what 42. So they didn't even really have use of the Tiger at that point. They had like Panzer IV, sure, but I don't think they had anything heavy. So it'll be interesting to see how they have a lightly armored German faction with everything else. And I'm
That would
kind
be
of
great.
well, yeah, but I kind of like my King Tiger. I wanted the King Tiger like Mark 10 if they were gonna go bigger, but now they're just going like, okay, you'll just have an army of tanks.
They should put the mouse on there. The mouse.
That's an maybe. That's a little
bigger,
bit of a
because
maybe
what we
thing.
need is something bigger than the Stern Tiger, or not the Stern
Yeah,
Tiger,
really,
the
exactly. The
Yag
King
Tiger.
Tiger. Oh, yeah, Tiger, yeah.
It has to be 2
But I
times as
mean,
long.
it's just if they're gonna release Africa Corps, they gotta do two things. They gotta release some commanders for the British that were like in the African environment, like maybe some artillery, like 25 pounders or something like that. And they also gotta release,
American stuff.
well, yeah, they also gotta release American stuff too. Because you know the Americans also fought in Africa, so you gotta yeah, you kind of gotta keep it a little bit all relative, if you guys know what I mean. Because like I mean, makes
No,
no
yeah,
sense.
completely agree. And my also hope is like they even maybe throw in some like Italian, like maybe it's the specials you can call in like, because they fought with the Italians over, maybe they can call in like specialized Italian forces. Because yeah, technically they maybe fought side by side. That'd be kind of cool. You know,
Yeah. I could see some of the Italian usage. Because didn't Italians have like their own type of tanks too? So like maybe you
oh
could
yeah,
use some you could use some
Caro.
of those. Yeah, you can use some type of Italian tanks, or maybe some Italian specialized infantry, which would be cool. Which would be cool. But I mean, the only thing that's gonna confuse me is that like a winter map with Africa Corps and like these tan uniforms. I don't
They
I don't
might.
know how they're gonna make that relative, because like you wouldn't. I don't
There
know how
were
they're gonna make
Italians
it
in Russia.
relative. There were?
Oh yeah.
Yep, and they got slaughtered. You know
Oh,
why they got
perfect.
around Stalingrad? Because those guys were guarding the German flanks.
Dun dun dun
Yeah,
dun.
really.
Yeah, there were Italians in or is that what we're talking about? Probably not.
Yep. No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there was Italians fought Russians with the Germans.
The Spanish
Go
also
figure.
fought the Russians, and they got slaughtered because they were the partisan troops on the sides that got mowed over.
What the
Panzer
Well,
Juice
hell?
was in charge of holding. He had all of his partisan units, but they just got eviscerated. And when everyone got surrounded and
Yep, it's
started
not
yelling at
partisan.
PJ,
Not partisan, by the way.
oh, they're
oh,
not.
Ostrupen.
Oh, Ostrupen.
oh, stupid.
Oh yeah, Ostrupen. Everyone was yelling
Yeah,
at
I would
PJ when they
still
were in
like
the
to
city.
see. Yeah, yeah, really. I would still like to see some type of like Polish or French partisan tactics. I really like maybe for like for the Americans they can get like some French partisans, and maybe for the Russians they can get some like Polish partisans or something like that. You know, just just like a little bit more on the civilian army side. I mean, they don't have to be like majorly relative or anything. They just haven't added like any major doctrines to like any other faction other than the Overcommando and the American. So I just want to see the Wehrmacht and the Soviets get some love.
Yeah, because they really are not played too much anymore, which is kind of a shame.
Yeah.
Since that's
Yeah,
what the
yeah.
game was based off of.
Yeah, it's really they've moved away from that in of like full heartedly. Like the Russians haven't gotten anything new, the Wehrmacht haven't gotten anything new, and it's kind of like well, we made this game called Company of Heroes 2, and it starred the Germans and the Russians on the on the Eastern Front.
Eastern.
And then we're like, well, I guess that was kind of, we're not going to do that. Let's just have it all centered on the Western and the Africa core. That's what everyone wants. It's like, no, go more detail with the blizzards and stuff. That was cool. I like
Yeah,
the blizzards.
they got rid of the blizzards. I don't understand that.
Face Off at
Now
Rostov was awesome map. I don't know why they stopped the rotation. And Cishard Summer is a fantastic map as well. I can't understand why that was taken off.
Just
That was
fuck you.
terrible.
But like, I don't know. It's just the if they want to release Commanders too, because they've been doing it like what every 2 months for fucking Commander. If they want to release Commanders, they should probably release a decent amount, like maybe 3 or 4 Commanders for not for like each faction, but like 2 for each faction. You know, they should release a decent amount because like, how easy is it to get Commanders now? You have people that literally make Commanders in the workshop that can be used in game. And like, I mean, what, 2 Commanders a month or 2 months, 3 months? Like I
I
don't
think
I
the
don't
problem is
understand.
balancing. I think the problem would be balancing.
Yeah. Hey guys, I want a commander to sell you off the. I'm sorry, not sell you. I'll give it to you. Here's what the commander offers. For the Soviets, you get the 203 howitzer, the IS-2, the ISU 152, the let's
Shock
see what
troops.
else. We'll say the shock troops and Sturmovik. No, the incendiary. Throw some fire in there. And you know
Well,
what?
I mean,
Because you're a nice guy, Yavert, I'm gonna throw in a Sturmovik strike for you. What do you say?
like, fuck
Yes.
you. But
And shock troops. Don't forget shock troops.
maybe they
And
can
then
like do the beta thing like they did with the British, although make it last a little bit longer so they can actually, test the commanders and stuff like that instead
I
of
will
just
patent this
releasing them
idea.
out.
I will patent this idea, but my idea is very simple. You list every single one as like a number system. So very simple. You have a King Tiger that is like 12 points, or it's like or 10 points or something, and then you have like MG34 2 points. But essentially you have this point system, and you can make your commander, or better yet, you have like a rank system. So you like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. Okay? And you have all these different commander abilities to choose from. And essentially you're just picking like you have the tigers or the heavy armor and or like the very good special abilities, and then on the other side you have like the lower level abilities, stuff like that, and you can add in whatever abilities you want. And the reason why I would say this is that way you can make your own commander and you can put your face on it, whatever. Why I think that version would work a lot better, and this is honestly, is because that way they can balance it out by making sure that you can't put everything you want. You have to go by a set list. That way there isn't something OP, and that way you can still make your own type of strategy with it, and that way everyone has their own unique strategy within the game. And then the counterpoint, if something becomes overbalanced, they just go back to the original system, make a patch, not to that commander, but to that specific like that little like check mark for the howitzer or whatnot. They either make it more or less points or whatever, so that way it's either put in later in the game or earlier in the game, or more power or less powerful. That way you can implement that type of system. Honestly, I think that would be a lot better than having their current system of let's just make new commanders, because then you put it behind a paywall and it becomes a lot more difficult. And I don't mean a number system as in ranked. I just mean like a system in which like you have 5 slots. The first slot is for low level things, or like I guess they could be for low level, and then the last slot's for high level stuff. So, for example, it's like for the last one, it's like if you used way too many like good mid tier stuff. Let's say you had an Apuma and maybe like a lot of really interesting units there. You can't add something in later on. Then that's how I would put it.
COH2 expert speaking on behalf of COH2. We should all completely do this, and I'm sure in no way, shape, or form would backfire horribly. I'm sure.
Honest, would it? I'm being honest. So like in that system where again,
I like the idea. The only note is some things shouldn't be put together because then they can become very, very bad. Like if just imagine if everyone had the ability to gather resources with like manpower, that could get bad.
What was? Oh god, there was a game, I forget. Oh, you know what? End War did this. End War had a system where it's like you could pick. Oh wait, no. Let me rephrase. The End War is a bad one because they had preset commanders. I'm trying to think of something that you could swap out things and they wouldn't get too powerful. XCOM. XCOM multiplayer. You can customize your own soldiers and you can rank them up, and you can have 1 soldier or 6 soldiers, and you can vet them up and make sure they're better. But of course, there's a 10,000 point system. That's where I thought of it, XCOM. So that's how you would essentially do it, except of course you have to have all 5 commander slots. You have 5 basic units, but instead of having, let's say, but you can make it so whether you have 2 OP XCOM soldiers and 3 recruits, or you could have 5 okay, like decent soldiers. It's a nice balance. I think that's what they need to do if they want to make this game more accessible, and also, but also, I guess also like attract and keep the hardcore base going, because a lot of the hardcore base is just getting annoyed because the new commander comes out, like aka the Calliope, and people get upset because it's OP.
The Calliope should be like 12 points. It's really early.
Yeah, no, there are definitely little fixes and things that need to be done. Oh, sorry.
No. Why, like, when you play for like, I don't know, like 30 minutes, and your command points, the bar will go all the way up to 32 points. But there's nothing it goes past 20. There's nothing it needs at least 20 points. So why does it go up all the way?
To make you feel better.
I don't know. I just don't know.
There was probably something earlier on in the game that reached up to 32 points, and Relic was just too lazy to take it out when they changed it.
But they just recently changed it to 32.
Yeah, no, it's always been 30.
Like, it was like 3 updates ago.
I was always going up to 32. I remember playing it when the game first came out, and it would always go up to 32 points. Although I think there was something... There was something that you got when you got up to 32 points. I don't confirm me on this, but I think you got like a special ability based on the commander, because there weren't that many commanders back then. The way you'd get commanders is you'd level up. The level up system was a little bit different than it is now.
I got it when it first came out.
Yeah, Yeah.
What was
And,
it, 3 years ago?
I think it was 3 years ago. Yeah, it was a long time, dude.
God
But I
damn, that was a
mean,
long time ago. I was like a freshman.
Well, here I'm gonna take a slight tangent and get us off this because we could probably dive in for a lot about what we do and do not like about the game. I just wanted to talk about the Africa Corps, but dang, you guys have problems with the other parts. Apparently, my brother has like is like just calculating the best way to come up with a new point system, and Yavert is just Yavert and TK. You two are just like, we need this or we need that. We need to add this. We need to buff this, buff that.
I'm
They need
just,
to add the
I
flag.
just the only thing about the Africa Corps, I think it's a cool idea. I just don't know how they're going to implement it to winter. That's the only thing that I just
Do
want to
you-
leave off on.
Nope, completely.
Are you all familiar with Coming to Heroes Europe at War mod?
Yes.
Yep.
I've tried it. Eh.
I feel like
Everything
they're taking a lot from that mod.
Yeah, everything dies so quickly. It's insane.
Guys, it's hard
It
to
does.
micromanage.
Yeah.
British paratroopers, British commandos were always OP in that mod. Anyways, what topic did you want to switch to?
They are
151?
now. What are you talking
I was,
about?
I was actually going to switch to our final topic, which is an upcoming game that's going to be coming out very, very soon. I think early February. Correct, bro? For
Yep,
XCOM 2.
February
Oh god.
5th. February 5th is when it's coming
How
out.
can it be Halo Wars?
Because,
That's a few days before my birthday.
yeah, happy birthday, TK. You get an alien-occupied Earth, which you have to fight for. Yay.
I
Yeah, but-
cannot.
Yay.
No.
I cannot wait for XCOM 2.
Yeah, the reason why I had to switch is there's been a massive amount of
Oh
coverage
god, that's loud.
that has been released in build up to said game. So I thought it would be interesting to see what you guys have seen, what you like, what you are not, what you don't like. Currently, I'm kind of sad they took out the mech troopers. I mean,
Yeah. I was hoping that they wouldn't go, but I mean, I think there's enough in the game that'll support it, so that I'll probably forget about that later on as I play the game. But I really like the idea of like an alien occupied Earth, and then like your resistance fighting of the aliens. I know that it's kind of like a more movie design rather than a game design. So I think that that'll be a really interesting take, because when I play games, I play them for the story, usually. And I really can't wait to see how XCOM 2 is going to like flesh out the story and see how it goes, throughout the game.
No. I just hope it uses its set pieces a little bit better than the original XCOM, because, and we're talking about the Firaxis, I mean the reboot version, by the way. The main note, I think the main criticism is it didn't feel like there was a major, like, there was this Operation Slingshot, and there was, like, the whole the Freeing the Psychics mission, but there wasn't really, like, a mission in, like, it was all, like, every mission was different, and yes, they had the missions where you invaded, like, the base, and you then invaded the mothership, but I was hoping for more of those, because those kind of really set it apart, like the defending the base. Because I really felt like having an event that, this mass cataclysmic event would better suits the story. Like, it moved along the story a lot better.
Honestly, what I wanted was a culmination of all of the things you did. And I really hope they do it in this game, where it's like at the end, it's like your quote unquote final mission. It's like depending on how well you are at that time, it depends on how well you start that mission. For example, if you gather up the world's resources, I really want, like, you see, like, a bunch of military forces fighting and beating back the aliens. If you have so-so, it's like a mixed fight, and if you pretty much are, like, last-ditched, you're kind of being overwhelmingly destroyed, but you barely get in there. And then you have negative bonuses because of that, or positive bonuses, or no bonuses. That's what I wanted on, like, the last game. Like, I really wanted, like, my awesome spacecraft, my advanced fighters to come in there and just blast holes, just to be fighting on the outside of the mothership as I advance in and try to, like, take it out. Because that way it'd be like, oh, and then it's like, we are causing damage and we're diverting alien forces. You should experience less forces, hopefully. And they're like, that would be amazing. Or like, we can do an airstrike if you want. Just let us know. We'll do a deep strike inside there. We can only do it for so much. And it's like you have 10 turns to use the airstrike. It would like that would have been cool. But I feel like that stuff I hope is in this game, and it seems like it may be. So that's what I'm excited for. But
The
no,
the other note I bring this up.
have you guys seen the person? I'm sorry. Have you guys seen the customization of these characters? They are so.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's so good. You can make anyone you want. If you don't like someone, make them for XCOM and then send them to their death.
No,
You have the technology.
the other reason I bring this up, and the more important reason is, I think all of us maybe. I'm not sure if TK. I don't think TK, but I think all of us maybe.
What?
Does anyone have any doubts about XCOM 2? I mean, again, did these videos and whatnot put your doubts to rest because of Beyond Earth? And that
Yeah.
that fantastic Civ game, which everyone loved and adored, and had no
I
problems.
think they just had a misstep. I think it was simply just a misstep. I think Beyond Earth was something they tried something new and they didn't do enough to really push it above Civ 5. And I think Rising Tide is fixing that with what I've heard from my friends. But honestly, though, I still question going back to Beyond Earth because they got burned so hard on that game.
Was it instant contact with the flamethrower? Just instant, and he was just charcoal.
Yeah, really. Pretty much in a nutshell. But my I feel like my only worry for XCOM 2 is that it'll be easier, quote unquote, than the first one. Not like the first one, like the new modern first one. Yeah, Enemy Unknown. Excuse me. And I just hope that it still holds that difficulty. Because, like, when I play XCOM, I always used to, Enemy Unknown, I just crank that difficulty up because I really enjoy, like, the worry that your soldier is going to die and how much you need to, like, preserve them and take it really slow. I really did enjoy that type of gameplay out of XCOM. And that's what it did give to me. And I'm hoping that it'll keep that difficulty. If it doesn't, then I'm going to be severely disappointed. But, like, I have high hopes that it will keep that difficulty. I'm praying. I'm really praying that it does keep that difficulty.
Can I just say that? Sorry to get off topic, but okay. So first, the the 13 Hours movie. It's getting pretty bad reviews on Metacritic, but I can't explain to you my shock. Guess what movie reviews came in?
What comes up? I honestly.
I'll
don't
give
know.
you a hint. It's the
sorry,
movie
this
that
is
I said
kinda-
looks bad, but it said it'll probably be good.
Deadpool.
Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu
Oh,
Panda
Christ.
3.
Is it?
It's doing better review wise than the Hateful Eight.
Wait. What?
What?
Yeah. It's almost tied with The Revenant.
Wait.
What?
What?
What? You're
It's
shitting
a
me.
few points behind it, but yeah, it's close.
Okay, I'm looking this up. Hold on now. Metacritic.
This
Wait
Sorry,
a
this shocked me.
Wait, way to sideline the whole freaking conversation, bro. But
Yeah, if this can bring us off of XCOM, this is this is pretty big.
wait, hold on. I'm like looking at movies. I guess.
So I remember watching the Kung Fu Pandas beforehand, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? Jack Black, what the fuck?
I guess coming soon.
Comes out on the 29th. I just saw it and I'm like, really?
Ah, here we go.
Yeah, but
That one
it's
guy's
getting
back,
pretty
isn't
good reviews.
Jack
So
Jack Black must have like bribed everybody.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, there we go. Okay, I almost had the trailer play.
When I
I
went to watch
can't
the Star
believe
Wars
that.
movie, I've seen that.
yeah.
That's interesting. Again, for those that don't know, I think DreamWorks is very underappreciated in some of their films, especially when it comes to the How to Train Your Dragon series, which I would even rival beat some Pixar films, in just how well done and executed and gorgeous.
I love that movie. Both of them.
Yeah, the one thing I'll give it though is like Kung Fu Panda is like on this weird crossroads. It's like it's good, but it's also funny. So it looks like a kids film, but it's actually very
What's
good.
Jack
Like
Black?
yeah, oh yeah, Jack Black is like a note, but I think the second film was definitely very dark, and it was misleading in that sense. It did not look like it would be that dark.
I
It
never
was
watched it.
very good. It had like visuals of like Samurai Jack in it, which were like I was just caught off guard. I was so shocked.
But if that film turns out to be
Holy
good,
shit.
I like if like that. Look, I have a weird love-hate relationship with this movie because Kung Fu Panda was a movie. Again, the first one I loved. The second one I'm like, it looks good, but it looks kind of weird. And then I watch, I'm like, this is still great. And that, like, I don't know how, but like How to Train Your Dragon, they can't manage to do this with any other franchise, with except for the weird pronouncing ones that should not make up. Like Monsters vs. Aliens, like yes, this is gonna be awesome, and it turns out to be a piece. It's terrible, but it's bad. It's just bad. But Kung Fu Panda and How to Train Your Dragon are two of like their best franchises, and I don't know why. It's like it's just for whatever reason they put the time and effort into these two franchise movies more so than Shrek even. After the Shrek 2, I think Shrek 2 is the best one, but Shrek 2 at 3 and 4 are terrible. But like the recent films like Croods and Home and oh god, Turbo and stuff like that have all been kind of bombs. So the fact that this is now coming up, I'm like, thank you. Yes. Finally. It's like now it's a good film, hopefully. And then I saw the trailers, I'm like, oh, this could be bad, but I like who is it? Bryan Cranston, who's Poe's father. I'm like, okay, this could be okay.
Wait, Bryan
And
Cranston
but
is
then
his
I'm
father?
yeah. Yeah, he's in the film.
Now I really want to see this movie. God damn it.
Yeah.
This is now
Hey,
becoming...
come back to the 29th.
Congratulations. This is now
Have you
becoming...
guys? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say congratulations. In the title, I'm gonna have to forget because of how much we're discussing this. We're gonna have to put the freaking Kung Fu Panda 3 discussion. Continue, Yabert.
Well, wait. Do we wanna talk about Kung Fu Panda, or do we wanna go back to XCOM? Because I'm pretty chill with whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Continue whatever you want to discuss.
I don't know what I want to discuss. I don't know.
Okay. By the way, I will make note of this. Every film has like its distinct color, and I think the definite color of the last Kung Fu Panda was red. This one is definitely green. Like I mean,
You know
from the-
what?
And the
I
first one
thinking
was
the
yellow.
exact same thing.
Yes, yes. The first one was yellow.
Mhm.
Like there's so much green in this trailer.
When you said color, I was like, well, it must be green because Kung Fu Panda 3 seems pretty green. Because I saw the trailer like 3 times, and then you said, oh, its distinct color must be green. And I'm like, yeah, nice. I knew it. I'm smart. You smart. You loyal. I appreciate that. But yeah, Kung Fu Panda. I'm not gonna lie. The first two movies, I like them but at the same time, I didn't like them because I just felt like, probably because I was older when I watched them, like maybe we'll say like 14 or something like that. Because I used to have to babysit all the time, and cousins of my baby cousin, and they always wanted to watch Kung Fu Panda. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching them. I'm like, this is funny, but this is stupid. So I had this, since I'm a little bit older now, and I can appreciate like animated movies a little bit more. I'm hoping that, because I'll probably go see Kung Fu Panda with my baby cousins again. But I'm hoping that I can finally appreciate Jack Black and Kung Fu Panda, because I think Jack Black's pretty chill. I think he's a pretty chill guy.
Oh yeah, in
So-
Goosebumps, he plays himself, R.L. Stein, and the dummy. I think he does great with both. Like he's not too
Oh,
over
yeah.
the top. He's very creepy. But funny at the same time. It works very well.
The movie was good. Goosebumps was pretty funny.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
spooky and funny.
Yes. But okay, so I guess we're going to the end of the podcast. Are there any other topics you guys want to discuss? Anything you guys want to bring up? Other than Kung Fu Panda freaking 3, bro.
Hmm.
Okay, and let's try to avoid the whole youth in politics recent fiasco and all that jazz.
Oh boy, that's always fun.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
that's
God,
a conversation for another day.
What the?
I'm
Oh,
debating about
TK just doesn't know what to
talking.
discuss. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
choose this,
Ah,
this.
Ooh.
I'm so
That-
confused. So Fallout 4.
Oh, Fallout 4.
Okay, we have a game. It's called Fallout 4. And TK, where is this
Alright.
going?
So I don't know. Have you all talked about it? Cause I'm kind of disappointed with it a little bit, honestly.
Really?
Why?
In certain areas.
No, I
Go
guess,
on.
Let me
Because
guess.
of
Let me
the
guess.
guns.
It's because there's no customizability in the way the missions are structured, so there's only really one ending for every single side quest.
That is very true too. There's not.
Like, I missed that.
Wait,
Like,
really?
Also, I wish there
Yeah.
was
Really?
more like.
For example, the tree mission, you can't. There's like
Yeah,
multiple
there's-
ways to deal that. There isn't like multiple ways to end it. Really?
Not really. I think there was one mission where I
Not
actually found
really.
someone, and it was you could. Basically, the mission was you could kill the guy, you could kill what the guy was protecting and the guy. You could kill the guy but leave the other thing still fine, or you could make the guy go to prison. It was like there was nothing like I want like that was like the only one. Like most of the side missions are kind of. I mean, the ones I've found, there's no like megaton mission where it's like you detonate megaton and you affect the world. It's really like you go to an area, you get a thing, you bring the thing back, and the thing affects.
Spoiler
this way and
alert.
That way.
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, for Fallout 3. Spoiler alert for the 7-year-old.
Oh yeah, really big spoiler alert. Oh boy, put on your spoiler alert pants, everybody. We're spoiling Fallout 4.
3.
3.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of wish there was more on the west side because I just enjoyed Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 2 more than Fallout 3. Like even though Fallout 3 was big and open world, I just like the setting of Fallout 2 and New Vegas and 1. I guess I didn't play 1 that much, but
Well, you gotta keep in mind too. Most of the lore started off on the East Coast, like the Brotherhood. That started off on
the brothers started in the west.
started off on the East. No, they started off in the East. Cause
No, it started in the west.
didn't they like migrate over to Washington and then send guys down to the west to go for tech, and then
No,
the
they
guys
started
down
in the west, and
Why-
they made blimps, and they went east, and somebody landed in Texas, somebody landed in like Michigan, and then someone landed in Washington.
No, I thought the headquarters was in D.C. and what happened was they wanted more tech because D.C. was dry, so they sent out blimps, like you said, of people. Some people landed in other places, and they kind of established their own beliefs. So like the guys in the West just, excuse me, they believed in like no, I am wrong. Okay. Yeah, the West. Okay, yeah, okay. The guys in the East, they believe in helping people out. The actual Brotherhood doesn't like that, so they slap them on the wrists and exile them. Okay, yeah, you're right. I got it.
No. Well, I know this from Fallout 3. Lion was in charge of the DC branch, and he made note of that. And then there were outcasts, Brotherhood outcasts that
The outcasts are
and
like
they wanted nothing
the
but technology.
the outcasts are like
Oh.
the original Brotherhood.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha now.
So wait, do you see outcasts in Fallout 4, or is it the actual
No.
Brotherhood?
It's like-
the actual Brotherhood.
Yeah, it's just normal.
It's one of the Brotherhood chapters anyway.
Yeah.
Well, see, Eldar Maxon is a bitch. He is a huge bitch. So I don't consider them Brotherhood. That's why I went the Railroad, because the Brotherhood and Fallout 4 are bitches.
Ooh, fight.
Because the Railroad was pretty chill because they believe in independence, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can agree with independence. Yeah, fuck you, father. Fuck you, son. I'm gonna blow blow up the Institute with your dead corpse. Yeah, fuck you. No, I don't know. I just felt like the railroad had a they. I just like the little freedom status that they had. They just kind of wanted the Commonwealth to govern them themselves and not have Brotherhood and Institute like violating those freedoms. So I thought they were pretty cool.
See that, like, it seems like the only time you can split, like, who you want, like, which way you want the quest to end is for the main quest.
Yeah.
See, like, on
That's...
Fallout New Vegas, you could split every quest. You could, like, help the Legion or the NCR, or you could help the Brotherhood, or you can
Or
make the
even the
Brotherhood
third
help
party.
the... Yeah, like, I think the end of the game on Fallout New Vegas, you could have up to, like, 7 people helping one faction. Like, I had, on one game, my last playthrough of Fallout New Vegas, I had the Brotherhood, the Enclave, the Followers of the Apocalypse, the Cons, I don't know if you can get
Wait, the
anybody else,
Enclave.
actually.
You
But,
found the Enclave in there?
yeah, New Vegas?
Yeah.
The Remnants.
Oh, I never found the Enclave.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
when the
had them
fuck
help.
did you find the Enclave?
I have Brotherhood. Or, not Brotherhood, Boomers. I had them help. the
Oh yeah,
NCR.
well those are necessary.
I will tell you all how to do that after this
I'm looking it
podcast.
up right now. I did not know they were in that game, and I love
It is the
Fallout New Vegas.
longest process. It is the longest process of the game ever. You have to get that follower guy from the Followers Apocalypse, the, what's his name? Arcadia? This fucking...
And he's actually an Enclave member, I guess.
Yeah, he's an ex-Enclave member.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. See, I never had any respect for the Enclave. Actually, no, I never had any respect for the Brotherhood in Fallout 3 for some odd reason. The first time I
Fallout
met them, Fallout 3.
I wish you could help the Enclave in Fallout 3. Like, it's so stupid that you can't split. Like, it's almost like a Fallout 4 scenario. You can't help the other faction at all.
Well, I mean, I guess it had to be, like, I guess Fallout 3 had to be canon. I feel like the Fallout
They're
1, 2...
story-driven.
Yeah,
guess.
well, yeah, Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and all the other Fallout have to be canon. Games like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout Brotherhood, you know, those games like those don't have to be canon. They can be whatever they want to be. So
Yeah.
that's why you probably have more freedom in Fallout New Vegas than you do Fallout 3, because those stories have to be what
The story
what
is.
they have to be what the story. Although Eldar Maxim is still a bitch, so nothing will change that.
See, like, I don't know, I guess I see that. Like, see, they can't make a Fallout New Vegas game, or not Fallout New Vegas, another Fallout game off of New Vegas because it has so many different endings. Like, it would be hard for them to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess, like, at the start of the game, if they worked really hard, like, you choose who won the Battle of Hoover Dam, and that determined the game,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess that would probably be a lot of work for.
Yeah, I mean, they already included so much in Fallout 4. I feel any more stuff like that would have just delayed the process for Fallout 4 like tenfold. Although I'm still gonna go on Angry Joe's advice and really urge Bethesda to use a new engine. Please, Bethesda, please, please.
Please.
Uh,
What new engine?
It's just I forget the engine that they use, but it's the same engine that they used for like the other Fallout games, like like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3. I believe it's the same engine, and the game kind of had a little bit of like
Oh yeah, I
oddly,
can't be in Boston very well.
yeah, it's like a little bit of oddly looking stuff. So I mean, if they used a new engine, it'd be fine. I'd still like the story, and I'd still like the graphic fidelity. But the only reason why I play the Fallout games is for the story. I was probably the only one of the only people that didn't help your settlement and actually went on to finding my son because I thought the whole settlement thing was stupid. So
I feel
I
it.
set
I'm
up.
doing the same thing. I don't do anything with the settlements.
Yeah.
I use it
I-
as a home base. Like, I just store stuff there, and that's it.
I
don't do
didn't
anything
even
else.
use it as a base. I just let it sit there and I planted crops and I let them take care of themselves. I went to the Red Rocket gas station and that's where I kept all my power armor. That's where I just kept all of my stuff
What?
that I got.
Like, I didn't build anything on it, though. I just used one of the crates or whatever just hanging around the sanctuary, and
Mhm.
everything I get on the game is going there.
Let me
Well-
see if I can find a picture real quick. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, here, you can pass that along, but we have reached time, so I want to thank you, Yev, for stopping by, and I want to thank TK as well for joining us today in our
problem.
second Greyshot Productions podcast. Bro, do you have anything to say before we cut out?
No.
Okay. Well, I thank you, Yavert and TK, again for stopping by. If you guys enjoyed this, you
No
can catch
problem.
us on SoundCloud for the full audio podcast, or you can also catch us on, obviously, our channel where you'll get the full audio as well. In case I'm Greyshot151, and
And
Greyshot17.
Greyshot 17. Hi.
Yeah, and that guy. And
And
we'll
this
catch you guys
is
next time.
TK.
No, no more. You can't say who you are and what you're
All
See
right.
everybody.
No,
See you guys.
bye guys.